Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode, we defeated the Old Monk and the Storm King. We also picked up the magic sword Makoto and gave it to Satsuki, who then attacked us. We had no choice but to kill him. We are pretty much done with World 4. We will have to come back to it in the future, but today we'll start exploring World 5. It's easily the most annoying world in Demon Souls. The first level is not too bad. I mean, it's pretty confusing and there are a lot of ambushes, but it won't take too long to complete it. 5-2, however, is extremely annoying. But we'll talk more about it once we get there. Let's go ahead and teleport to 5-1. Most of the enemies there are weak to fire, so we could have bought the Flame Toss spell and used it against them, but our Soul Arrow should be strong enough to one-shot them anyway. The Valley of Defilement is a wretched home for the abused, neglected and even criminal citizens of Boletaria. The first level is full of dilapidated buildings and filth. It's a disgusting place and its inhabitants are similarly repulsive. We shouldn't worry too much about the status ailments in this level, since we can easily deal with the enemies that can inflict poison or plague. But we should stock up on lotuses, because the next level will be a nightmare. The most common enemy here is the Depraved One. They're not difficult to kill and don't do too much damage, but there are a lot of them. They're even more common than the Draglings in Boletaria and they're significantly more dangerous than them. There are several types of Depraved One, but we will only see two of them in this level. They'll be wielding either daggers or spears. Obviously, the ones with spears are more dangerous, because of their longer reach, but there aren't many of them here. The level is pretty difficult to navigate. Even after playing it so many times, I still find it difficult to remember where I should go next. I mean, it's easy to get to the boss, but we could miss a lot of items if we're not careful. Like I said previously, we should always be ready for an ambush. The most common type is getting jumped on by depraved ones pretending to be dead. Unfortunately, while they're pretending, they can't be locked onto, so we'll have to trigger them first before we can kill them. There will be a lot of dropping down to lower levels here. The route I'm using is probably not the most optimal, but it's relatively easy and we shouldn't miss any of the important items. Okay, looks good so far. Let's restore our mana and drop down another level. Here's another Crescent Moon Grass. The items we'll find in this level mostly suck. There is a few we need to grab, but other than that, don't expect to find anything interesting. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. There's going to be another Depraved One here, as well as the Ring of Magical Dullness. It's one of the items we need to pick up in this level. It's the opposite of the Ring of Magical Sharpness. Damn, I tried dodge rolling, but I guess the Depraved One was too fast. Like I said, they can be pretty dangerous. We were lucky we weren't pushed off the platform. Now we should go ahead and cross the bridge. The first fog gate is below us, but we'll come back to it later. We still need to pick up a few more items before we do that. I should have known the Soul Arrow wouldn't be able to go through the rope. Once we cross the bridge, we should start climbing up. Oh yeah, there is a way to figure out which depraved ones are just pretending to be dead. Their hitbox will be active, so you won't be able to go through them. Actually, forget about what I just said. We most certainly went through one of these too, despite it just pretending to be dead. So, yeah, looks like we'll just have to wait until they're triggered. There's one more depraved one here. Then we'll continue climbing. And we can get an itemized soul from this corpse. There will be a couple more depraved ones up there. Actually, it's quite a bit more than just a couple. Nice, we managed to hit him. Okay, I think we've cleared the area. From here, we can see something like a drawbridge right in front of us. It's a shortcut we can use, so we should lower it once we reach it. We'll need to go over this plank and then turn right. Then we just drop down here and we can lower the bridge. Actually, I guess this is not much of a shortcut, but it does give us access to this corpse containing a Talisman of God and some Widow's Lotuses. Now we should cross this plank again, but this time go up this ladder. This is completely optional, by the way. The only thing we'll be able to get here is just a morning star. It's the item on our right, on the platform below us. Right next to it is another depraved one pretending to be dead. Let's replenish our mana. Okay, we can drop down again, and this time go straight ahead where we'll find another hole we can drop down through, and then start heading back to the ladder I told you before was leading towards the first fog gate. We just need to drop down a few more levels. Here it is. Before we go down though, let's try to clear the lower level from enemies. There's no way to quickly slide down a ladder in Demon Souls, so if we don't kill them before we do so, they'll be able to hit us while we're descending. We could have also just dropped straight down, I guess, but we'd again be vulnerable to an attack, so it's still best to first kill that depraved one. In front of the fog gate, there are a few more enemies. Remember this place, since we'll come back here in a bit. Let's go through the fog gate. There's going to be a Royal Lotus just left of us, and we'll now start going down again. There's going to be a depraved one at the bottom. Damn, I didn't expect him to react so quickly. And there will be a few more hiding inside this pile of hay, waiting to ambush us when we go for these items. Good, we can now safely pick them up. It's an upgrade material and an itemized soul. Next, we should go across this bridge. At the other end, a few more depraved ones will be waiting for us. It's going to be one with a spear on the left and another with a dagger on the right. Behind the depraved one with a dagger, there's a new type of enemy, the giant ticks. They're pretty harmless. They can only hurt us if we stay too close to them when we kill them. They explode when they die, and there's a chance of us getting poisoned if we're next to them. We'll go back to the room where we killed them, but first let's pick up the Saint armor set from this corpse. It is male only, and is worn by Saint Urbane. Picking it up also triggered the depraved one to attack us. Now let's enter the room with the giant ticks, and then continue going down. Here we'll find this level's vendor. She's simply known as the Filthy Woman.
Won't you buy something? My poor child is hungry.
She sells some restoratives, as well as both types of lotuses, the black turpentine, and, perhaps most importantly, the rotten arrows. They can inflict poison and can be of great help to a bow user.
So let me give you some advice. This place is buzzing with pests, fattened on a diet of souls. In order to protect yourself, you must keep a lotus with you. The price of survival can never be too high, can it?
Trying to make us buy lotuses?
How many years has it been? That witch Estrella came to this valley with that squid-headed knight. Those ridiculous white robes of hers. I swear I caught her glaring at my son in disgust. Yes, it's true, she is as nasty as they come. And she's a demon to boot. Doesn't surprise me.
Interesting.
In order to protect the price...
Okay, so that's all the information we'll be able to get out of her.
The witch sends you to torment me.
The witch she's talking about is most likely the Maiden Estrella. I'll talk more about her in the next episode, but right now, let's focus on killing the rats here. There is a lot of them in this room, and we really should try to kill all of them from a distance. They don't do too much damage, but their attacks have a chance of inflicting plague. It's not the end of the world even if we get it, we'll just use a Widow's Lotus. But they are pricey, so it's best if we try to avoid wasting them. This should be the last of them. Okay, let's pick up the items now. Nice! We got a Shard of Arkstone. The chance of them dropping one are pretty slim, so it's great we got it. This drawbridge is the usual way we're supposed to come here, but killing the rats from above, where the Filthy Woman is much easier. Now we should go all the way back to that place I told you to remember. I'll probably fast forward to that part, since it would take a bit of time. Okay, well, it didn't take as long as I thought. Now that we're here, it kinda looks like certain death if we fall from here. But in fact, it's very safe, and it's a kind of a shortcut. Actually, I'm not even sure how to progress through the level if I don't drop down here. The only thing we need to worry about is getting a good dodge roll backwards. A couple of depraved ones will attack us immediately, so ideally we should try to dodge towards the wall and not into the abyss. There are a few more depraved ones we can kill from here, and then we can proceed forward. I guess this was the only one we can reach from here. There's also a crystal lizard I wanna try to hunt down, but I keep locking onto the depraved one. Wow, we actually managed to catch it, nice! But it only dropped some shards of faint stone, unfortunately. Okay, we've killed the giant tick, now let's loot the corpses. A couple of itemized souls, and another depraved one pretending to be dead. I guess it was two of them. Thankfully, our level is so high that they really don't do a lot of damage. Now let's go back to the giant tick. Behind it, there's a corpse with another item we need. It's a Blessed Mace +1. The Blessed Weapons regenerate our health when we have them equipped. This will lead us back to the Rat's Nest. But let's go back to the Blessed Mace. It's not as good as the Regenerator's Ring, but we may use it in the next level, since it's easier to switch from it than to keep re-equipping the Regenerator's Ring. This is where we'll encounter the giant variety of the depraved ones. He's very tough and fast, so we should do our best to kill him as fast as possible. A few depraved ones will fall from above once we pass a certain invisible trigger. I'm trying to trigger them and then go back, so we don't get pincer attacked. Okay, looks like we'll need to go a bit further. There we go. Now we can just stay here and pretend we're in a shooting gallery. Not sure why these two aren't attacking us, but okay. And there's just one more left. Good, let's restore our mana and check if there aren't any more ambushes here. Looks like we're okay. Now we'll need to start climbing up these planks. There are a few more giant sticks here. We should be careful, since the lock-on point on some of them might be obscured by the floor. Okay, doesn't look like they dropped anything, so let's cross this bridge now. Behind the two normal depraved ones, there's going to be a giant one, so we should be careful, and once we aggro him, we should keep moving backwards while we are casting our soul arrow. Alternatively, we could use our soul ray, but we'll still need 2 casts of it. Okay, we're near the end of the level. All we need to do is cross the bridge and go down the planks. The boss fog gate will be there. Here it is. Before we go through it, we should pick up the full moon grass from the corpse below the planks. We're ready now. The Leechmonger is another fairly easy boss. All we need to do is get in the correct spot and start hammering him with soul rays. This is the spot. From here we're close enough to hit him with our spells, but far enough so we'll have enough time to react to his attacks. Well, it's actually just one kind of attack. He'll try throwing clumps of leeches at us. It is very easy to dodge it, and we should have enough time between his attacks to cast a couple of soul rays. This should be his last attack. There we go, flawless victory. Okay, now let's go down and start looting the corpses in the arena. While we do that, I'll talk a bit about the Leechmonger. The Leechmonger is just a huge mass of leeches brought together through the power of the colorless fog. This demon was likely created to guard the entrance to the Valley of Defilement. I know the entire world is named that way, but we've yet to enter the valley itself. And that's pretty much it. This demon is not particularly interesting in any respect. Which is unfortunate, because this world story is, in my opinion, much more interesting and fleshed out than, for example, World 4. But I'll talk more about it as we progress through this world. For now, let's just return to the Nexus and do our usual routine. Let's see where the Maiden in Black is. Oh nice. She's next to Thomas and Baldwin. Yeah, figured it wouldn't be enough. We barely got any souls from this level. But we do have a lot of stuff to store. Okay, great. Now let's go and repair our equipment.
I can afford. Do come.
I think this is a good place to end the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to my channel. It will help me a lot and encourage me to bring more content for you guys. I'm releasing new videos daily, so hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow, where we'll continue our journey through the world of Demon Souls.